Oh, another thing, by the way, I
nice.
never thought Caitlin wasn't strong. That was actually something I noticed in college. Like, she had a strength about her.
Is Caitlin Clark too good for the WNBA? Some people think so. The league's newest star is breaking records left and right, but instead of celebrating her success, critics are tearing her apart. Why is everyone so quick to hate on Clark? Let's talk about the crazy drama surrounding the WNBA's hottest rookie. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Clark's not just good, she's insane. She dominated college ball, dropping 40-point games like they were nothing.
Will she get stronger, and will that help her? Yeah. I think it was more just getting used to the hits and the physics.
I think basketball in the women's game, we've had rivalries for forever.
Yeah.
You know, we've had competitiveness, we've had trash talk, you name it. It just wasn't getting the looks. It wasn't getting, you know, people weren't covering.
Now she's in the WNBA, and guess what? She's still crushing it. But here's the wild part. Some people in the league aren't happy about it. Can you believe that? It's like they're trying to hold her back. This isn't just about Clark, though. It's bigger than that. Her success or failure could change women's basketball forever. Imagine if she takes over the league and brings in millions of new fans. Or what if the haters win and she crashes and burns? The future of the WNBA might depend on what happens next. That's how high the stakes are.
Let's not forget that she probably has arguably the most pressure that any women's basketball player has ever had coming into the WNBA. I mean, sometimes it feels like the weight of the WNBA is on her shoulders.
With so much riding on her performance, you'd expect Clark to be under a microscope. But the level of scrutiny she's facing, it's next level. Critics are acting like she needs to be perfect 24/7 or she's a bust. What's really going on here? You won't believe the things people are saying about Caitlin Clark. Every little mistake, every missed shot. It's like the whole world is watching and waiting for her to slip up. It's crazy, right? I mean, she's out there breaking records and changing the game, but some folks are more interested in tearing her down. Here's the deal. Some critics are questioning whether Clark's college success can translate to the WNBA. It's like they're setting this impossible standard for her. Every time she has an off day, it's blown way out of proportion. The media goes wild, making it seem like the end of the world. But come on, everyone has bad games sometimes.
That is both, like I said earlier, a compliment and warranted in a lot of ways, but also maybe a little bit unfair to put so much.
Imagine being in Clark's shoes. You're a rookie trying to find your footing in the big leagues, and suddenly every move you make is under a microscope. That takes some serious mental toughness, but you know what? Clark's not backing down. She's using all this criticism as fuel to get even better. Think about it. How would you handle that kind of pressure? It's not just about playing basketball anymore. It's about dealing with all the noise, all the doubters, all the people waiting for you to fail. That's a whole different game, and Clark's playing it like a... But here's where it gets really interesting. Despite all the hate and criticism, Clark's making waves in the WNBA. Her team was one of the worst in the league before she showed up. Now, they're a potential playoff dark horse. That's the kind of impact we're talking about. It's like Clark saying, you want to doubt me? Fine, watch this. She's not just playing basketball, she's changing the entire landscape of the league. And that's what's got some people scared. They see this rookie coming in and shaking things up, and they don't know how to handle it. So next time you hear someone criticizing Clark for every little thing, remember this. She's not just playing against other teams. She's playing against expectations, against doubters, against an entire system that seems designed to hold her back. And so far, she's winning. Clark's been fighting an uphill battle, but she's not alone. What would happen if one of the greatest WNBA players of all time stepped up to defend her? Well, that's exactly what's going down, and it's shaking up the entire conversation. Enter Sue Bird, a true legend of women's basketball. With 4 WNBA championships and 5 Olympic gold medals under her belt, when Bird speaks, people listen. And boy, does she have something to say about Caitlin Clark. You know how everyone's been picking apart Clark's game. Bird's not having any of it. She's stepping up to the plate, ready to go to bat for the rookie sensation. And let me tell you, her words are packing a punch. Here's the deal, Bird's not just throwing out empty compliments. She's breaking down Clark's game in a way that only a seasoned pro can. She's praising Clark's ability to handle the physicality of the WNBA. That's huge, folks. We're talking about a rookie who's not just surviving, but thriving in one of the toughest leagues out there. But that's not all. Bird's zeroing in on something special about Clark's game. Those logo threes. You know, those insane shots from way downtown that make you jump out of your seat. Bird's calling them game changers. She's saying these shots are redefining women's basketball. Think about that for a second. We're watching history in the making, and Bird's the one pointing it out. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Bird's not just talking about Clark's on-court skills. She's taking aim at the media coverage. You know how every little mistake Clark makes gets blown up into this huge deal? Bird's calling it out. She's saying we need to focus on Clark's contributions, not nitpick every little thing. Listen to this. Bird straight up said Caitlin Clark is one of the most exciting talents to come out of college basketball in years. That's coming from someone who's seen it all in this sport. When a player like Sue Bird says something like that, you better believe it means something. But wait, there's more. Bird's not just defending Clark. She's painting a picture of what Clark could mean for the future of the WNBA. She's talking about millions of new viewers tuning in to watch Clark play. That's not just good for Clark or her team, that's huge for the entire league. The WNBA is on the brink of a revolution, and Caitlin Clark is leading the charge. But here's the kicker. It's not just about her incredible skills. There's something brewing in women's basketball that's about to explode onto the scene. Are you ready for it? Clark's not just changing the game, she's redefining it. Those deep three-pointers, they're not just crowd pleasers, they're game changers. Imagine this, a player so electric, so captivating, that she's drawing in fans who've never watched women's basketball before. That's Clark. You know what's crazy? It's not just about the shots, it's about the entire package. Clark's style of play is like nothing we've seen before in the WNBA. She's got this way of making every possession feel like it could be the game winner, and fans are eating it up. But here's where it gets real. Clark's not alone in this revolution. Remember Angel Reese? These two are cooking up a rivalry that's got everyone talking. It's like Magic versus Bird all over again. But for a new generation, their matchups are becoming must-see TV. And think about it. When was the last time you saw this much buzz around women's basketball? Clark and Reese are bringing that competitive fire that turns casual viewers into die-hard fans. They're not just playing for themselves, they're elevating the entire sport. Now, some people might say, hey, what about the veterans? Are we forgetting about them? No way. This is where it gets really interesting. Clark's success isn't overshadowing the league's established stars. It's shining a spotlight on them. More eyes on Clark means more eyes on everyone. It's a rising tide that's lifting all boats. Let's talk numbers for a second. You want to know how big of an impact Clark's making? Her college games were pulling in millions of viewers. Millions. And now that she's in the WNBA, those numbers are following her. We're talking about record-breaking viewership for regular season games. But it's not just about TV ratings. Social media is blowing up every time Clark steps on the court. Highlights of her logo threes are going viral faster than you can say buckets. People who've never tweeted about the WNBA before are suddenly becoming expert commentators. Here's the thing, Clark's impact goes beyond just her own games. She's creating a ripple effect across the entire league. More fans are tuning in to other games, wanting to see who else can match up to this new standard of play. It's like Clark's enthusiasm for the game is contagious, and everyone's catching it. So, what does all this mean for the future of women's basketball? We're looking at a potential golden age. More fans mean more support, more coverage, and more opportunities for players at all levels. Clark's not just a star player, she's becoming the face of a movement. Caitlin Clark's journey from college superstar to WNBA rookie has been wild. She's faced crazy expectations, tons of criticism, and some serious pressure. But you know what? She's still out there balling like a pro. Here's the thing, we can't rush to call Clark the savior of the WNBA just yet. Sue Bird said it best, the pro game is a whole different beast. Clark's got the talent, no doubt, but she's still finding her footing. So what's next for Clark in the WNBA? That's the million-dollar question. Will she keep breaking records and changing the game, or will the pressure get to her? One thing's for sure, the future of women's basketball is looking brighter than ever. But here's what I want to know. How can we, as fans, help take the WNBA to the next level?